Hello, this is Lisa Rusczyk
And Donna Murphy.
with the podcast We Are All Psychic, and today we have a really exciting guest, and I just told you about her on Instagram in reality time 10 minutes ago. Her name is Katie, and Katie, would you like to say hello?
Hi, I'm Katie Quinn. How are you? How's everything going?
They're answering Donna. What are they saying? I'm good. I'm real
All
good.
good.
Hey.
Yeah,
Finally
all good.
sunny today. It's been raining in Nashville. Whoa.
We've got a huge storm rolling in, so I don't know what's going to happen next. But
your turn. Katie, we have a question for you.
And I have a question for you that we ask all of our guests. Katie, do you think we're all psychic?
I sure do. And the reason why I believe that is because in my own experience, in my training of others, we all have the ability to tap into either our body, our mind, and our spirit to understand what's going to happen and what's going to happen next.
Beautiful.
Excellent.
Why'd you figure that out? I mean, were you always kind of aware of stuff like that? And because listeners and watchers, she is a medium, and
yes.
But did you always know you were a medium? I want to kind of hear about how you entered that realm, or was it you explored yourself?
When I was little, my mother's mother passed away when I was 10 months old. And when I started talking and walking around, I would say, Grandma Livingston's in the room. And my mom is very Irish Catholic and a Long Islander. And her default was always madness. So she would get out, she would mad, and she would leave the room. And what I didn't realize is that she was stricken with grief.
Oh.
So
yeah, I didn't think
what I learned is that through my mediumship and talking to spirit, and I used to always tell her when we were driving, she would always drive in the middle lane, and I would say someone's going to merge in or that person's going to take a left, and she would say, you can't know that, that's so distracting.
Yeah,
but it was always right.
She was uncomfortable with it.
She was uncomfortable with it. Because you're not supposed to know that stuff. So what I realized in my 20s and 30s is that when I trust my gut, when I trust my understanding of what the situations are, they're right.
Yes. Yeah. When did you get to that conclusion? Was there a moment, or was it gradual, or because that's the hard thing to do when you're a medium is be like, okay, this is happening, but you're so young, it's kind of different, but still years going, these people aren't saying this is happening to them, and so what was it like for you?
When I was in high school, I thought it was just that everybody knew it. And then in my 20s, I thought, wow, I really am getting different messages. And I always just kind of thought it was my grandmother. That was just, I used to say, like when you had a bubble gum dispenser and you put a quarter in and it went down and plopped.
I love those.
Then you got the bubble gum, then you got the news. So
good analogy, man. I like that.
I love that.
In 2012, I moved to Beverly, Massachusetts. I got my Reiki master, I got my IT master, and I started taking mediumship classes. And the very first one, I knew that all of the voices and separate ideas were from spirit. They were not mine. In the sense they were connected
during that class, or did you walk into the class and just realize it, or what happened?
No, it was in the teaching of that class that I was being taught to, that you have your own thoughts, and it's like you have your own thoughts, you have spirit's thoughts, and then you have your ego and fears, and to really just decipher all of those things are very wildly different at times.
Yeah, where's it coming? And that's the thing, is that moment when you stop and go, where is this coming from?
Where
is it me? Is it outside of me but connected to me?
Yes.
Is it the part of me that's constantly chattering and kind of trying to run the show, which is usually the ego then?
Yeah. And then when I started, I practiced mediumship for 5 years. I didn't take any money for it. I really thought that I needed to learn grief and a mother's grief and a widow's grief before I really gave any advice on it, or I really wanted to get the experience of that. And in doing so many mediumship sessions, and then higher self sessions and really tapping into someone's higher love, that's where the answers are. Mm-hmm. And then the reason why I really believe it, where you're all psychic, is because I started teaching mediumship, and I can see that people know it. They just stop themselves and say, that can't be true. I can't know that. Mm-hmm.
Mediumship's my weirdest one. I can't explain it. I'm a medium as well. I work with it, and I love it. It's my favorite part of working with the metaphysical things, I guess. I just love spirit guides, especially the spirit guides.
Yeah.
And I love doing mediumship readings anyway. It's just different every time. You don't know what you're going to get, it's so, and it really helps people. It helps people like with whatever they're going through, So I'm really curious, when you decided to teach people mediumship, what made you want to teach that? I'm kind of curious, because I've never even I have taught a few people like a little bit of mediumship here and there the way I do it, but like other people usually teach like evidential mediumship, stuff like that. So I was like,
when I do my mediumship, I put my hands in the air and my chakras start to spin, and I can feel the energy in the room. So I put the females on one's left-hand side and the males on the other, and then I count how many spirits are in the room with my hands.
Wow.
So ancestors appear above you 4 or 5 generations. And I'm so spatial that I have to fit, like, your mother-in-law is here, your mother's here, your ex-boyfriend's mom is here.
Yes, I do that too.
Like, to really decipher where everybody is.
Where is everybody?
And you can see them. Like, you don't see them. I don't see them with my eyes, but I see them in my mind's eye where they are. They can be standing through furniture and stuff. Right. But I sometimes, if I'm like, I have a spirit guide cat, Morgana, she's sitting over there. I don't want to turn the camera because it's kind of messy over there. But like I've shown it to Misty, and we did a podcast about Morgana one time, the two of us, and the audio came out so bad I couldn't record, I couldn't post it. It was like distorted and we didn't know what happened. But I showed her in the film, you could see like Morgana was sitting next to me, and her little speckles, you know what I'm talking about, by the little speckles where they are? Yeah, that she had that, and you could see it in the film. And I was really upset that podcast didn't work out, because she was like, let's do it. Morgana was,
Right. So when teaching that and in the mediumship, there's always 3 very distinct questions: past, present, and future. And it's always like, well, did I do enough? Are they still mad? Can they tell me about the past? The present of like when that person died or how things went down around that time. And then inevitably we go right to the future. And when we go right to the future, then it kind of switches over from the ancestors to the person who I'm reading. And should I make this move? Should I get a new job? Should I? People want assurance that they're living their life, and they want validation that they're making the right step forward.
Yes.
So whether they do it with their ancestors, or they do it with their higher selves, or they, in different faiths and different religions and different beliefs, people give their power away to say, this Catholic God is telling me.
No, the priest is telling me.
Or the priest, or the pastor, or the reverend. Yeah.
And I do it in my own self. I have an orange dragon that's right outside my house, and I talk to him, and he gives me all the answers. And
dragon too. I have a friend named Akasha who's a dragon priestess, and she has dragons all over her place, and they just transient there. Sometimes one went home with me, little fairy dragon. He was about this, and now he's awake now. He was asleep forever. Well, he's awake as a baby. His name was Puck. And then his name changed to Styx. And now he's Ragnar. I don't know. He just tells me this stuff. And when he was Styx, he slept all the time. Now he's about like this big, maybe. About as big as he's going to get, I think. Because he's a fairy dragon,
Well, let's hope.
Yeah, but he's white. And he has like the little, he kind of reminds me of the, he doesn't look like the fur, but the creature in Neverending Story.
Right, yeah.
Kind of piece. But it's like sleepy and old and ancient looking, but he's always around, if I look for him. Yep. Yep. But he doesn't say anything or do anything. He's just around. That's what she said. She's like, I guess you just picked one up.
Right. Yeah.
He went home with you.
Yeah. So I do believe that when you believe in a higher something, whether that's a spirit, ancestors, God, that you can really tap into other things. And then people who don't believe, they just call it other things, their intuition, their gut feeling.
Yeah.
Or that thing.
That thing that happens. They're like, whoop, yeah. So I am a firm believer that we are all psychics for sure.
That's really great. And so listeners and watchers, I want to tell you about this because this is what I told you about on Instagram. She is a death doula. And if you don't know what that is, it's basically, you correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I understand of what a death doula is you walk people through the stages before their death, right?
Yes, it's before and after, actually. Yeah.
And after. Oh, I didn't know that part. So do tell us about it. Yeah. What is it exactly? Tell us
it started out with when I was in mediumship sessions, people's parents would come through and they were getting ready to transition. So I was able to tell my mediumship clients what I thought their parent was doing. And then it evolved to that I would do a mediumship session for the person who was passing away. And then it's evolved to people will just text me all morning, noon, and night and saying something happened to my loved one. And I'm able to tap into where they are on their journey. So I do my death doula work energetically, where the soul is on a bed and it's leaving someone's body. The three sisters appear. They go over this bridge, and I understand how many rungs on the bridge there are. There's 15 rungs. And when the bridge is complete, the soul goes over the bridge, hits the ascension point, goes right up to heaven, and meets 6 people.
Who are they?
The 6 people is always associated with the person who's passing. Okay.
Are they sometimes spirit guides, or are they people that were passed?
Varies. And this is where the point where people see Jesus. Okay. You get up to the pearly gates and see Jesus. Well, I say that there's 6 people. And then they go on their life review, and then they go through the spots where I can't get them. And
that's the journey. That's the journey is.
Yeah.
Oh, you finally gave me a key. Okay, because like all spirits, sometimes when I can't get them, very rarely it happens, or they just don't want to talk to me. But the other spirits will come through and say they're traveling, and they don't really explain what that is. They've tried to, but I don't know what they're talking about. That's what they're doing when I can't reach them. What you just said. What are they doing? They're learning, or are they growing or evolving? What are they doing? I'm so curious because I don't understand what they're doing when I can't reach them.
If I believe that they are doing their life review and they're evolving back into a fully in love person, someone who's completely in love.
Okay, with themselves. Yeah.
I give this example when I'm doing my mediumship that my brother and I, for a little bit, were arguing about my mom's care, and my great aunt Eileen, who was also Irish Catholic Long Islander, would come through and say, I really want you to talk to your brother. And I'm like, Aunt Eileen, you were so mean in real life. Katie Quinn is the human is still so mad at her. But Katie Quinn is the person that can understand that Aunt Eileen is fully evolved in love. She, of course, wants me to talk to my brother.
Yeah.
But Katie Quinn, the human, is still really mad at Aunt Eileen, and you can hear it in my voice. I'm still pissed.
Did you have a little conversation with her?
Yeah. I have definitely kind of evolved into it, but the messages that come through from Aunt Eileen and others that are fully involved in love typically have my best interest in heart. The people who you can read in spirit 2 different ways. How they were here on Earth was my Aunt Eileen. That's a good example. She was pretty cranky and Catholic. But in heaven,
amen.
And she's really lovely. So I think that when I read her from her earthly body, she definitely has a different opinion than her heavenly body.
Yes. I know what you're talking about. The same things happened with me. With other people I've read for, where their person was just horrid in life, and then they came through differently, much differently. much differently.
So then that leads
to happy for the first time ever you've ever seen them happy, like my own, like, wow, you have a smile, a real one.
With the death doula, what I find is that I'm coaching the people who are living and watching someone pass away.
Okay.
I'm coaching the person who is actually passing away, and just being that space to say, they can come to me and say, hey, I'm dying. And I can say, I know, I'm right here. I'm holding space for you, and it's okay.
That's so nice because, we all think we die. We come into this world alone and we die. We don't come into this world alone. We come out of a womb usually. Some people, I guess, were like, in a test tube or something. I don't know. I don't know if they do that really. But I just think that, like, I'm trying to get at. Well, first, I'm kind of curious. Can you tell if people are dying? Like when they say and they come to you and they say I'm dying, you do know already, or do they tell you and then you know?
No, it's a distinct feeling. I gotta tap into them, and it's a quick hit. Yes, they are dying.
How does it feel like? What does it feel like in your body or your mind, or where does that hit you? I'm very nosy. I like to pick in there, I'm really curious.
It depends if I can feel their pain or not.
That makes sense.
Like the way that the soul leaves the body is from feet up to the head, and when I scan the body, I can just feel the demise. Yeah, like the slowness of the body. Sometimes I can feel in my evidential pieces of it how the person died or what part of the body people have contributed or was the most factor. Someone dies of lung cancer, I'll feel it in my back.
Yeah.
If someone dies of...
You figured out your tells, kind of.
Yeah, I figured out my tells, But it's a very distinct feeling of death, of like, okay, they're definitely leaving this earth. I never predict when.
Yeah. Do you know, though? I mean, do you know when? You don't have to say if you don't want to. Just say, I prefer not to answer.
No,
I know someone who says she knows when people are going to die, but she's never proven it to me. She says that it has come true every time, but I don't know,
What I tell people and what I do is that through my own experiences, if I think that they're 3 days out, the person still has free will. If they want to say, I'm freaking done, I'm pressing the button, I'm shooting to heaven right now, or I'm going to hold on a little bit more, or they're holding on to the kids that can't accept it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a mixture of all of that. What I am finding is that when I do my death doula work and I prepare the people who are grieving that their parent is leaving, I will know the minute or two after that person has died, because they've like hit another plane they're not in their body, they're outside the body. So then I can feel them just hovering.
They come see you.
Yeah, no, it's different. It's a different feeling of reading someone's higher spirit versus when they're fully involved into heaven.
I got you.
Okay, so when they've separated from their corporal, their physical body, but they haven't quite yet
did the loop over. Yeah.
You seem to have a really good understanding of the not just doing what you do. You have a way of explaining and understanding, it seems like, the process of death all the way from start to finish, and whatever happens beyond. So I think that's very cool. And I really want to ask this question because you said it pretty quick, and I want to go back to it. Who are the three sisters? And what's the bridge? I want to know these things. Like, what's the bridge? What's the sister?
So in my studies, when I study different religion and different ethnic groups or different ideologies, sometimes I think it's the child, the mother, and the grandmother. Sometimes I believe that they are actually three sisters. Sometimes I believe that it is three elements. Some people say it's corn, and there's two other things that go with corn that the shamanics and different religions in South Africa, I believe, they believe that those three things are the three sisters that assist you on your journey.
Like in mind's eye or physically or whatever? What do they look like, or do you just feel them?
I feel it as the Irish Catholic three sisters, the redheads that are just standing there.
Yeah,
yeah. So, but people have inquired and said that their interpretation is definitely three beings, but it really could be the phases of the moon. It's just been really fascinating.
This is great, Katie. I love this conversation.
Yeah.
You know what's hitting me is they've how do I put this?
But when you mentioned it, when you said the three sisters, I actually, because at one time I was very into, Greek and Roman mythology, so Greco-Roman mythology, but I thought of the three fates. And I probably don't say their names right, but it's Clotho, Lachesis or Lachesis, and Atropos. And each one has, it's like, I think one spins the thread, one spins the thread, one doles out the thread, one cuts the thread. So, I mean, that's their,
of life. Yes.
That's their, of the person's life.
A really fun animation of them is in Disney's movie Hercules. They have three, they're all crazy and they're sharing an eyeball and But the thing I was going to say before that I lost and I was trying to find words for, I've always felt like they're like, I believe in God now, which I was always agnostic kind of, but when I was a kid, I believed in God. But what I feel like is there's three gods. I don't know what that means. But I mean, in every religious tradition, there's three, like a trinity, like in Catholicism, and most religions have a some kind of three that makes the one, and when that really stood out to me with the three sisters, and I'm thinking, wow. And then when you said that about the fates, I'm like, well, because that maybe that's something that's always been there for everybody, and like a long time ago, people knew about it,
Yeah,
they were in everything. Did they ever talk?
No. I'm so focused on
healing your people,
because there's also part of the death doula work is that there's this amazing circle that surrounds the person who's dying. And there are hundreds and hundreds of ancestors just make this rainbow around themselves. Or when I start to try to unwind chakras and really get them going. Now, I will say this, my mom died in December.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And her 6-month anniversary is yesterday.
Oh my God.
Wow.
And I did everything I could to get that woman to heaven. And I just felt like I failed over and over again. I was fine. I brought down everybody. I was yelling and screaming at everybody. It just makes me really believe that it is their time.
Yeah.
And watching my brother and I and my dad go through our process. She was in the hospital for about 3 weeks. And that's just torture. That's just torture for everybody.
Was she in and out of consciousness?
No, they for whole other reasons, she went into an induced coma.
I have a question. Now, this is personal. I'm sorry because it is your mother, but when my father and mother have both been or my father in particular has been in surgeries, he's visited me. And when my mother had a really bad fall and was unconscious and she didn't know who she was visiting me when she was asleep. Does that happen to you too? When people are like injured or in an accident, do their spirits ever come see you when like their higher self, you would say maybe?
Yeah, for sure. Especially when they're starting to leave. My friend, my good friend's father, who I had known for many, many years, woke me up in the middle of the night and said, "Katie, this is Angelo." And I was like, "All right, I'm up. And he was like, "Yep, I'm right here." And it was about 3 weeks before he had passed. So I think a mother-father connection to a child is radically different than me and Angelo in the sense that your energetic ties are so stronger and different. But so people don't come to me when they're having surgeries, but if they know they can get to me when I'm driving or doing the laundry, that they'll pop in. But I really make it a point that I do a meditation to get in. I really get up there and then I come back down to Katie Quinn.
I like that. Yeah. What I do is I just keep them all blocked out like a big wall. So I think it's like this big invisible wall. I don't see you, and I don't. Right. And then when I want to do a reading for somebody or I want to speak with a spirit, I love my spirit guides, free reign. But like, I'll just like kind of let whoever's out there, like if I'm doing a reading for you, Katie, a mediumship reading, say, and you want to talk to someone, I'll be like looking around till I start to see that little speckles, like someone's starting to form in my mind's eye, but the speckles show first, usually somewhere in the room, and they're always happy. They are. I mean, there's only been one time where someone was regretful. And sometimes I think that they come through, for me anyway, they come through how the person needs them to.
Right.
Right? Yeah, what the person needs to hear and see. Yeah. So I think that's why in that particular case, the person came through regretful, because she needed to hear that.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. And the people that, if you read for their earthly self, some of those healing feelings are not there yet. So reading for their fully evolved and love self, they're all there for the ready.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's really beautiful. So Katie, do you have anything you want to like, I just want to pick your brain forever, but we've been talking for a long time. I could just pick and pick and pick and pick. Do you have any questions? Do you have any questions for Katie?
I guess I have had people, share with me over the years, the loss, particularly of a parent, sometimes of a partner or a sibling. And I guess the one thing that I've noticed is that for a lot of people, they sort of knew that their loved one, whatever the relationship might be, but that their loved one was actually ready, that they were ready to leave.
Yeah.
I have had a few people tell me, though, that they thought that a particular loved one stayed a lot longer, either out of fear for their own, self, like fear of death themselves, or what would happen after.
Yes.
Or for the family member or the person that they were in relationship with, that they wouldn't be able to handle it. Do you find that there's kind of that same situation, especially because people who seek you out as a death doula, especially if it's the relatives, let's say, or the loved ones of the person who's getting ready to pass, they've already got sort of an awareness of something, coming. So what do you find that there's kind of a similar pattern for them? Because I did not know about death doulaship. I knew about doulas. I always associated that actually with birth, right?
Right.
Because that's where most people, if they're familiar with the term or the relationship at all, they're familiar with it on that side of things. So do you find that because people may actually seek you out, that they're already aware and they're, trying to prepare themselves in a way that they're not holding on to their person?
Yeah, case by case basis. For the most part, I would say 95% are people that want assistance in their healing as their parent or loved one is leaving.
Okay. Yeah.
Or they are nervous that other people in the room are not in the same page of this person should go, this person should pass. And what I do in those instances is that I essentially do a Reiki share, or a 4-year-old called it a friendship circle, where we just close our eyes, we rub our hands together, and we put all of our hands on the body, and we just give the body love. No matter what denomination, or any sort of, if you're in a room when someone's about to pass, you can feel sympathy and love for that person. And we just kind of do a timeout, like, this is what we do all these things.
I've never been in a room with a person who was about to die, but I have been with cats. But it wasn't like that, it was different.
Yeah. And I can call
immediately they're popping around, when they passed. The first one wasn't, but the rest after that, the two other ones I had to put to sleep, they were there right away.
Yeah.
It's just, and they were just fine, they were just fine. It was weird,
There has been one or two instances where people have called me and said, when parents lose their children, that is a really, denial is, I'm going to meet them wherever they are. I'm going to do whatever they want me to do.
Yeah.
Keep the person, that's too hard for me to, I never have the heart to say to a parent.
I wouldn't be able to.
Unless it's really, really at the end.
Or if they're begging you to tell them the truth, I think I would, maybe, if I were you. I don't know, though. I don't know what that is like. I can't imagine.
Yeah. So the exception would be a parent losing their child. But for everybody else, it usually is that they have some sort of inkling, or they need some sort of support. Yeah. And people will text me and just say, hey, can you check in with this person? And some of it is, have they drank? Has the client or my friends drank enough water? Like, go get a cup of coffee. Go get something in your belly.
Yeah.
And they're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, no, you need to stay hydrated. And those are the
eat
things
protein and eat sugar. Take care of yourself when someone's dying. That's really great that you're there doing that for people.
Yeah, because it's really easy to kind of forget. Yeah, and I've had the experience and also seen other people where you get so subsumed in the process of passing that you really do stop kind of taking care of your own physical body, as well as obviously your emotional and spiritual needs. But your physical body still needs care because you're not the one leaving. So you've got to take care of this, So,
and also when I go in if I know that if I'm close enough, or sometimes if I don't even know the person, and I said, you've got 4 people to call that they can bring dinner in 20 minutes, give someone a call and get their butt over here. And just tell them to just drop it off at the side of the door and we'll pick it up, and they don't have to come in. Like, you lose some of the executive function and your decision making because you're so clouded by, oh my God, I'm losing this person. And sometimes it just takes another person to be in the room to say, okay, let's do the logistics.
Yeah.
Talk it out. And you're not feeling the pain they are, but you can take it on and relieve it and heal it. Not take it on, but heal it from them while they're talking, probably. Right?
There is.
Level it out. And that's what I imagine you would do. That's how I kind of picture it, like them talking and being upset and you like energetically just kind of soothing them, getting them ready.
I think it's a combination of a lot of things.
It's, like you said, is very unique for each person, I'm sure. But that's very cool, man.
Crying with someone is magical too, even if I've never met them before, and I can say I understand, and I'm holding space for you, and my heart is breaking for you. And that is different.
Sharing this with them, and they need someone to share it with because they have no one, probably.
Well, they don't feel comfortable. We don't go around talking about death like this before.
Right.
No.
Right. Especially in our culture, we have a really strange, just kind of generally our culture in America, based on what I know, is, again, death might be the one thing that is still kind of taboo to discuss.
We've never had
we have a strange, we have kind of a strange approach to dealing, with death. And so, and so even if they have other people, whether it's other family members or their partner or whomever, they may have that person there to help support them, but they may not be comfortable talking about their feelings with that person, even if they're very close and the relationship's very good, because again, death is kind of the final taboo for discussion.
Yep.
Very, very true. And on that note, Katie, where can the listeners and watchers find you? And not the spirits.
Hi, I'm on most of the socials. My email address is Katiequinnmedium. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Locally, I do live events where I bring 30 or 40 people in a room and I do my little spiel about mediumship and death doula. And then we do a talk of just question and answers. And that's really wild to have everybody understand what other people are thinking about this.
Mm-hmm.
And then I do a demonstration.
Do that.
Yeah, that's wonderful. That's wonderful.
I love that.
Is
it website when you do that? Is there like listings on your website when you do it and stuff, or is it just something you just randomly do? Or
no, I've done a couple, and it's definitely progressing. I think the next time I'll do it, I'll either do a live on Facebook or TikTok, or like have it out there. For
let me know.
Like,
seriously,
yes, please.
I'd love to watch that.
Oh yeah, that
for sure.
Great.
Unless I'm dead. Then I will be there for sure. But that doesn't make any sense if I said unless I'm dead. No, I'll be there. You're one of the spirit.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. You'll be one of the spirit visitors.
And my email address is Katiequinnmedium @gmail, and my phone number is all over the place, so you can call me, text me.
And we'll put all that in the description, listeners.
We'll make sure everybody knows how to get in touch with you, how to follow you, how to sign up on your website if you do any kind of regular communication back and forth, newsletter kind of thing, anything like that. We'll make sure it's there. I mean, we hope that our listeners and watchers will watch our show more than once with our guests, but we also try to make sure that they can find information without having to watch through the whole show and go, oh, that was the part where she said what her email was.
So now what? They can just click right through if you want, So lastly, I guess we always ask for advice, and I'm kind of, a lot of the listeners, when I first started the podcast, it was for people who really didn't know what was going on. So I would like to ask for advice you might have for anyone who's experiencing knowledge of death that they don't know how to put into words. For example, maybe knowledge of what death is, what happens, the kind of stuff, understanding you have. What if that understanding starts coming to them and they don't know what it is and they're kind of scared of it? What's the key there to find out? I'd like to know what it is for them and to be sure and safe feeling.
If you start from a place of love in your heart, and then start to ask some of the questions there. Where do I go when I leave this plane? What else is out there for me? How much love can I receive when I cross over? And start from there. And hopefully some of those answers will really start to pour in a really loving way, because all of my work is all based out of love.
Yeah.
And very heart-centered. And then from there, it is a belief that we are so supported and we are so loved, and the spirits and the entities and God and everybody else wants us to feel that.
Yeah. And the sisters. I'm really still thinking about them. I'm thinking about those sisters.
That's beautiful.
And thank you so much, Katie. And we would love to thank our sponsor, Everclear, right now. Everclear is an advice app and website, everclear.com. And you can get advice from psychics and empaths to get the clarity you need to create the life you deserve. And Donna and I are both advisors on Everclear, and I'm under the name Lisa Rusczyk on Everclear.
And I'm under the name Dona Murphy, so you can find us there.
Donna, all through this podcast, your camera colors have changed. Do you have a window and that's changing from cloudy to dark?
Yeah. That's storm. That's the storm moving in.
It's been cool watching it because you're getting darker and darker. We're talking about Death Doula, and you keep getting dark.
But it's gotten darker out. The sky's gotten darker, but also, that kind of weird flat sky
right
that you get before a big storm. That's where we are right now. So
I would call that the hush. It's like the hush.
Yeah.
I'll hush the birds went away.
The light is really flat right now. It's really flat light right now.
Oh, weird. So I guess we have just one last question for you, Katie. Do you love our listeners and our watchers?
I sure do. And I look forward to meeting everybody.
Yes, listeners and watchers. We should have a big party somewhere someday. If I ever make $1 million, I'll have a big party for Real Psychic listeners. We love you, listeners. Thank you, Katie.
Love you, listeners and watchers. Love you, Katie. Thank you so much for joining us. This has been just a remarkable discussion, and I'm sure that our audience is going to love it. And you're welcome to come back anytime you like.
Oh, wonderful. I will be back.
Thank you so much. And listeners and watchers, we love you as always.
Yes, we do.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.